And F2 is go in Italy with a good reaction time for Teo Porcher, who immediately looks in his mirrors to see where Oliver Behrman is. And Behrman in P2 is trying to go alongside. Can they pick their braking spot? There's a lock up in the background for Iwasa, but he'll make the corner. It's P1. Stanek goes over the road, jumped into the lead. He'll have to feather out the throttle. The driver who started in third, Teo Porcher, still racing Oliver Behrman, and it's wheel to wheel through Curva Grande on the first lap of 30. That was an elbow thrown by Stanek to Victor Martins in the background, but Oliver Behrman is moving ahead, and Oliver Behrman takes the lead into the Roja.
Very cautious on the brakes for Teo Porcher. Stanek across the first chicane, and they're still battling. Wow, off wide.
Vesti spinning, Vesti into the wall. And the driver who's second in the championship was squeezed by Stanek. And that is a huge moment in the context of the championship. The man who is trying to deny Teo Porcher into the barrier. Watch the blue car of Victor Martins. So Behrman gets the lead into second position, we see, for Porcher. That is very brave for Victor Martins. It then meant that the defensive move was out there. Vesti kept it planted and spins out of the race and potentially out of the title battle.
The move from Martins, a nice one, round the outside of the Roger chicane. Stanek caught, shoveled wide, and then just comes across the road at us. Vesti, no time to react. You hear the car hit the limiter, spin up. He's lucky not to be collected.
What is he doing? He put me directly into the wall. Mate!
Frederick Vesti, your heart breaks for him.
Daruvala getting a good restart indeed. Jack Doohan in close pursuit, and it certainly seems to be the aero wash through the final corner which is preventing drivers from attacking that hard down the Roger, down that first straight. Doohan though closing in with the toe.
He's not the only one. Doohan going for the race lead. Iwasa's going to join the party as well. Big crash in the background as we have a crash on the restart, and that's a big moment for one of the Red Bull livery cars as Doohan got by, but we will obviously need. So Doohan has the lead, but we're going to have to neutralise the race after the crash of the start. Who holds the lead into the second chicane? Wheel to wheel we go. We are still racing. Daruvala's there. Iwasa's gone past both of them. Extraordinary. The lead changes 3 times in a matter of meters, and Iwasa, third on the restart, goes into the lead of the feature race at Monza. It was Doohan, then it was Daruvala. By the time they get to the Lesmos, it's Iwasa. That's Crawford being shuffled to the gravel, and Martins takes the place.
Martins making the move. It's Maloney who's off down the Rettifilo straight, and there surely will be a safety car, but they're still racing for now. These 3 drivers at the front of the field, and it's Behrman alongside Doohan, and has made it through there critically before the yellow flag was out. So that move being made by Behrman on Doohan. Let's have a look in the background of your shot for the incident for Zane Maloney. Oh, and he's caught from behind. He's caught from behind and turned into that outside wall. Is it Nissani?
I think it's Roy Nissani in the PHM who was running directly behind Maloney. It's a long angle there, but that is a huge accident. That is enormous speed on a restart, and thank goodness everyone was able to avoid. The driver who was the runner-up here last year in Formula 3, amazing title battle, but the Rodin Carlin driver did get out of the car. We focus on the battle for second place. This is Doohan versus Porcher. These two have gone wheel to wheel many times. Porcher having to think about the championship. Doohan thinking about second place and defending it. He will go side by side through the Roja, and jumping over the chicane to maintain the place is Doohan. And there's the wave of frustration from Porcher. He will argue he was forced off the road. Porcher will argue that he cut the corner. Daruvala now with degrading tyres. Crawford with another attempted move at the first chicane, and another car deep, and that is Stanek in the Trident, who will have to rejoin and drop back and give the places. Stanek, who was penalised earlier on after shuffling Vesti into the wall. Not much from there, and contact between Crawford and Miney as he tries to slow it down.
As the front wing caught underneath the front tyres. That's such a scary moment for Miney, who have to slow that car right down, and clumsy stuff then as they head through Curva Grande.
It promotes Iwasa up to 6th at the moment, but that will become 5th because Miney is off the road and a fine drive is undone. How does this story end? Bearman versus Pourchaire, and once again, Oliver Bearman is the master of the restart at Monza. What's his gap across the line? That's superb stuff. 0.6 of a second on Pourchaire, who is coming under the attentions of Ayumu Iwasa, the Red Bull Junior driver. Car number 11, flashing through your picture, forcing the defence for Pourchaire, who needs to take points from this race, and he's risking it wheel to wheel. Iwasa will send it to the inside. Pourchaire has to open the steering wheel, and is second place for Ayumu Iwasa.
Here comes Jack Doohan though, looking down the inside.
So Doohan with the chance on Correa, and he's up to 7th position now, Doohan, who is really effectively making these tyres run. They don't have great performance for too long, but they are superior compared to the others that he's racing. Doohan up to 4th as it stands in the championship.
Looking nicely plugged in, that Invicta Virtuosi. Really changed direction beautifully in the Ascari chicane. Crawford's off the road.
Crawford has parked it at the exit of Ascari on the penultimate lap of the race. Jack Crawford and Stanek going into Ascari, and only one of them made the exit.
He's either lost the engine over the run-off, no, the left rear tyre, look, the left rear wheel, left rear suspension damage, and there's the car crabbing to a halt. So, yeah, just the tiniest left rear suspension.
What happened? Did you have contact?
Yeah, no space on the Ascari entry. No space.
Théo Pourchaire will head to the final round of the season with 25 points, his lead in the standings. It's another podium for him. Iwasa has climbed 13 places to second, but the day belongs to the British driver. Oliver Bearman looks up and sees the checkered flag first. Oliver Bearman wins at Monza after a masterful drive on a day of high drama. Oliver Bearman wins once again in Formula 2, a feature race victory for the 3rd time this season. Ayumu Iwasa climbing through the field from 15th to 2nd. Théo Pourchaire puts one hand on the championship trophy, a 25-point lead with 39 still on the table. Well, incredible stuff all the way through from the first lap to the last. Oliver Bearman had it in control though. It was entertaining, if not always clean driving, but there are smiles all round. One man for taking his 4th win in his rookie championship, 1 for climbing through the field, and Théo Pourchaire had one objective at the start of the season. That was to take the championship trophy. He has a 25-point lead heading in to the final event at Yas Marina.